Yep. So, Julian, I will always say next for the next slide because I think it's going to be pretty fast switching. So you can now switch to the next one because I got myself a new name since I'm married now. So you may call me this now. And I was next one. I was taking part in EASA 2005 to 2007, which was 3 summer events and 3 INCMs and several. That's what's called Sesam events. And yeah, 2008 was my diploma, and after that, after short employment, next one, I was founding my company, event0.1berlin Studio für Gestaltung, like event0.1 Design Studio. And why, next one, why would I do this? Because being employed always meant, oh actually you can do the next one. The main reason was that I wanted to have diversity in my work, because being employed always meant that I had to focus on the project that was going on at the moment. So you can switch to the next one. And something that I was not really good at, because I had a lot of interests and they were from a lot of very different fields, not only architecture. You can do the next one. And that meant that I had to cut out a lot of interests from my daily routine, which after a while got me even, how to say, worse in staying in focus, because I wanted to keep track of other stuff while at work. And so the solution was to go the route of self-employment and to get just work from all of the fields that I'm interested in. And in the end, that meant, next one, freedom to just go the way I wanted and not follow the path of the employer. And which obviously also meant, as Sigurd said, that I don't have access to big architecture projects that I didn't really fear, because big architecture projects, they have such long times and I'm not really that patient to do those projects, and so I went into smaller scale stuff. And next one, I was willing to have all the insecurity of being self-employed. Yeah, that's the price you pay for the freedom that you have actually while being a one-man show actually. And next one, being in Berlin definitely was helping to lessen the insecurity, because living is cheaper, and I was grown up in Berlin, and so I had my connections from school, from being a carpentry training. So I studied carpentry before on the architecture class, and I was also studying in Berlin. So I had a huge network of people and I knew my ways around, so that made things easier. And next one, now we are in 2013, so it's been 3 years now, and I think I'm coming to show you some stuff that I did. And next one, this is actually what I expected my income to be as a self-employed person, but next one looked more like this, you know. So even after 3 years, it's a rough thing in some months, and some months are going to the restaurant every night, you know. And so
it started good.
Yeah. No, that was what I had left from my employment. No, that's I think it's kind of a very quick practice. And so not having access to bigger projects, and being a carpenter myself, I turned to products. You can do the next one. And that's my website actually. I did it myself. It's web development. I like it. It's one of my diversity projects. In the beginning, I was getting state funding for being self-employed, so I had time to do such things, you know. And actually, I thought I wasted too much time on the website, but in the end, it was shared and featured and all this stuff so much because of the design and not actually content of the website. So it paid off in the end for other stuff. So when you want to do something, it always pays off to do it like 100% the way you want it and not stop at, I don't know, 60% or so. So it proved to be not wasted time. And here you see already my first thing that I'm doing. It's a desk. We can switch to the next one and the next one. So I wanted to solve the world's problems with furniture, and the first one was cables. And you can do the next one. This is a fairly common desk rack that we have in Switzerland, Germany, maybe some parts of Scandinavia too, France. I don't know, it's a German architect who, Egon Eiermann, he designed it. And it's you have it in every architecture office, and the problem is the same. You have cables on the floor, cables on the desk and everything. So I made a tabletop where you can unclutter your workspace. And it's a finished product. I sell it myself on my website, and some shops are having it. But you can do the next one. I was adding my own desk rack to it, which can also be bought. And the next one. And some color variations, next one. And but this is not those products. They are not really paying the bills, you know, so because the volume is very low, and I don't have an employer who's an employee who's taking care of marketing and all the PR and stuff. You have to be really pushing things forward to actually increase the volume so much that you can live off the profit. So I also have other products that you can show. It's a laser cut iPad stand. It's an ironic product because people are buying those iPads every year and they throw away those metal stands. So I thought, why not make a stand that you can just recycle and just put in the bin without fear that it will waste the nature, you know. So next one and next one. So what pays the bills is still client work, of course. And next one, I was designing a small coffee shop. There were really huge constraints on the space that we had, so I turned around the whole thing. So the employee in the coffee shop is on the same side of the counter as the client, so everything is accessible from everywhere. Next one, here you can see how we fitted everything into one piece of furniture. Next one. And of course it had to be very cheap, like this is something you have in Berlin for almost every project. It had to be very cheap. Even in the end they didn't pay my honor, so it had to be very cheap. And next one. Like one of my biggest and most continuous clients is a university in Melbourne, Australia. You can even call it collaboration now because it was going on since 2011. Next one. Last year I was doing all the creative direction work for a conference that they were doing. Next one, which included like logo designs, merchandising, program, website, everything, just like adding to my concept of diversity. I was taking this client because they had a lot of different stuff to do, something like this, and as we can see later, also research projects. You can do the next one for the G-Lab, which is a research lab that is doing games research. Next one. And just opened in Europe. And we can have the next one. We did some projects for LG Display, which was together with the architect Jürgen Meyer-Haar from Berlin, you may know him. And it was a very, it was an industry collaboration. Next one, which was very, not very design driven, but more research driven. Next one. It was about the future of display technology in the living environment, because they wanted to know where they can select displays onto, they want some product ideas. Next one. So, projects like these, they are really paying the bills because they get in some money, and if I'm able to divide my head between different projects, then I can do other stuff while being paid for other stuff. Next one. It's also from that. Next one. For Audi, also as a collaboration with the RMIT University. Next one. The question was, what is the car of the future doing in the city of the future? How is the interaction going on from inside to outside? Next one. Or we can skip back to this one. Yes, it's like you have the glass as a separating element, and the question was, can we, in this picture, can we be the city, be something else, you know? If we have the glass as a screen, can driving through the city be also browsing a fantasy land for a kid, for example, to enlighten his ride or something like this, you know? So the core was to develop just scenarios for what can be thought of in this interaction scenario. Next. You could play games with the city and collect items while driving. Next. If the car is a browsing device, you can tell it to do things, you know, and you can just tell it to drive as long as you find my perfect match, something like this. Next one, or could also be a device to be social. That was actually taken out of the final presentation because they didn't want it, of course. Nice climb. Next one. So then there were some other scenarios like what could you do on the back seat, you know? In Asian countries, the back seat is actually the most important seat in the car. So what can you do there? Because the people that are buying Audis in, for example, China are mostly sitting in the back seat, you know? And so there was some scenarios, and the next one is the last of the Audi project. What's up for the kids on the back seat, so they can play holographic games and follow the route of their daddies as they are just on the way to the kindergarten, you know. And next one. That's a product design we did for the Zukunftswerkstatt. It's a project by Porsche, and it's not a museum, it's actually kind of a center for mobility in Stuttgart, which is going to be open, I don't know, in 2020 or so. But this was part of the competition entry of Atelier Brückner, a big exhibition architecture company in Stuttgart. Next one. Create Berlin is a network of designers and creative people in Berlin. Like they have different fields: product design, fashion design, and media design. Next one. And for Create Berlin, I designed this lampshade together with other people that are listed down here. It was a very nice collaboration actually, and it was done for the exhibition at the Berlin Furniture Trade Fair Kubik in 2011, next one, where I also did the creative direction of the whole exhibition space, next one, and also put my table there. Next one. So we had so here you can see these are kind of like metal engraved things that you normally put on your door, so we put it on the table for each designer, so they had kind of like their own communication seat on this long table. And the next picture, Service Plan is one of my bigger clients. They are like the biggest advertising agency group in Germany with 1,500 or so employees, I don't know. And once in a while they open a new spot. So that was a recent project in January I did for a Frankfurt agency, next one. And they wanted to have like big furniture elements for the entrance scenario. Same material as Sigurd showed us before, because it had to be very cheap, because the whole office was open for 3 years only. Next one. And here you see some mixture of IKEA and Hai from Denmark and some Muto lamps. So furnishing is a good way to actually earn some money without too much work. Next one. And you have a wardrobe box, and like facing towards the entrance is a a blackboard where you can paint on like slogans to make your employees work harder or not, I don't know. And next one, and next one, and next one, and next one. So today I think it's proven right that I went the route of self-employment, because if I recall, I was working very diverse over the last 3 years, which was good fun and actually paid bills, and obviously it was a bit rough and not rough. It's been a big change, and the whole insecurity is still part of the daily routine. Next one. But the biggest challenge is that I'm on my own as a one person and don't have a business partner to discuss things, to share fear, to share success and stuff like this, you know. So, and also, lost track. Yeah, that's one of the bugs, and the other bug is that it's a bit difficult sometimes if you work diverse and it's a formulated goal to do it. Still, you have to divide your head and stay on track with all the things you're doing, because sometimes there's like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 10 things in parallel, and sometimes there's just nothing or one, or I don't know. So it changes quite a bit, and most of the time I wish for more steadiness. At the same time, I'm glad that it's like very vivid work that I'm doing. So, and next one, and next one.